Hey yo, what's good? It's the start of the NBA, so it had nothing to do with traveling tomorrow. Has nothing to do with the holiday cut. We just had to get an NBA cut. In the cut, getting a cut. What up? How y'all doing? Yeah, man, 2-game slate. I wish it was like a 6 or an 8-game slate, like the perfect size slate, 7-game slate, so we could actually bite our teeth into something instead of tonight just getting, a little bit of a sample size with it. No matter what the slate would be, anything's better than a showdown to opening night. But 13 games tomorrow. Phew, fuck that. But 2 games tonight, we can handle that. How y'all doing? I see a bunch of people already up in here. A couple hundred people. People probably still at work right now. How y'all doing? I didn't think I would do this stream. We'll go on for as long, half hour to an hour, depending on how well the stream goes. Didn't think I would actually do it today because, holy shit, I put in 6 pieces of content up and prepped for the rest of the week as I will be traveling out early tomorrow morning. Running around. Barely got on this. Yeah, so here to answer your questions. 2-game slate, not going crazy on a 2-game slate. Let's be honest here. We want to play NBA. You can go crazy. I want to play NBA, but I'm not going to unload the clip on a 2-game slate to open the night. I'm going to have a little bit of self-control for the NBA, but should be fun. A couple of nice games. Very interested to see this insanely deep Brooklyn Nets team and how their rotation is going to play out. And new additions for every single team. I do think that we're going to see some interesting things tonight. And there is on a 2-game slate some very low-owned players that are surprisingly low-owned to me. Some guys that in single entry and 3-max I definitely plan to play and leverage the field because I'm seeing guys that are like nobody wants to play the Warriors players. I don't get that, right? And don't worry, I'm seeing your questions. I see everybody saying some stuff. I'll be in there for sure. I'll be in there. We got the fellas hoodie. If you're not in the merch store already down below, if you're not wearing the merch or buying the merch or getting it for yourself or a loved one for Christmas, what are you doing here? But no. Yeah, nobody wants to play these Golden State Warriors. Obviously Pascal's going to pick up ownership, Steph, but nobody else, right? Nobody else. Nobody wants to play. Nobody wants to play any of these other guys. Kelly Oubre coming over. Nobody wants to play Andrew Wiggins. Price points are up for sure, but so is the ownership, or the ownership is down. What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's not money, it's dollar-rooskies to him, says Dylan. 100%. That's facts. That's facts. The fellas, says Justin. What's up? We got the fellas, Ben. We got a lot of fellas up in here right now. Austin up in there. What's up? Fellas. Tyler says Steph Curry night. Yeah, man. You're expecting a pretty crazy usage share, usage rate, all that type of stuff for Steph Curry tonight. I'm going to be below the field on Steph Curry, believe it or not, because I'm above the field on a couple of other quote-unquote point guard, small forward, whatever you want to call LeBron. Now we find out if it's wise to play Wiseman. Yeah, I got about 10% Wiseman. The news that he's starting really doesn't shock me. I planned on him starting when I ran the projections. I think they're going to run 3 centers, so that's the issue. Wiseman did not play like all of last year. Did not play much of college, right? So this is not a guy that in your first night you go out there and run 30 minutes in a game where he's starting for the first time, right? Preseason didn't play much at all. Wiseman is somebody that when he did play, he looked good, real fucking good. But I would say I gave him, 20? Let me pull up how many minutes I got my guy at. Minutes, projections, all that stuff is on Patreon down below if you want to follow along. But right now I got our guy Wiseman at 22 minutes, and that might even be high, and it still doesn't make me get much of him. They're going to split this up a lot. They're going to have Chris out there. They're going to have Looney, or at least I expect that to be the case tonight. We playing the Claw or PG? So everybody, before we get into this, hit the like and subscribe. I appreciate that all a ton. The video is sponsored by Superdraft, and look. You've been playing Superdraft over on the NFL, and if you haven't, what have you been doing? People are winning left and right on Superdraft. Ryan Finley in the captain spot on Superdraft was one of the most obvious plays, one of the top 3 captains yesterday, probably top 2. If you had the projections, was top 2. One of the best plays that you could possibly find. And now, what do we get? Well, we get the NBA back tonight with a pretty decent prize pool up top for $5,000. Rooskies $1,000 contest to first. My name's Sal. Get a free money bonus up to $1,000 in a slow drip format. And there is some pretty damn good plays on Superdraft that people probably are not going to be too keen to if they're just sticking to some of these other sites, not understanding what that multiplier really means for some of these players. It's going to make some guys that probably aren't going to be on your radars. The best play on the slate, in my opinion, on Superdraft is going to be Paul George. He looks like a decent play, right? He'll pick up ownership on DraftKings, but nobody's going to be jumping on him as if he is the top play. So you check that out. What's up, everybody? Let's answer these questions now. I hope Sal opens the show with another rap. Hey, you like them raps? I gave you the fresh cut instead. How about that? First time playing NBA DFS. Yeah, down in the below in the description, I have a thing that I wrote 2 years ago about NBA DFS, some basics. It's free. Some stuff has changed from that, like the fact that I don't play cash anymore. You can if you want. I don't. The rake is up. The competition is much more difficult, much more better, so difficult to play against, as people understand now what value looks like. So I think GPP landscape is really the only way in really any DFS sport, but especially NBA with how insanely tight it is, late swapping, things like that. I think that GPPs are like the only way to actually profit long term. Fresh cut for sure. I need some of the holiday dollar rooskies in my hand. Yo, we got some people. Somebody reached out to me on Patreon. They paid for all their Christmas gifts with their dollar rooskies from being a patron. Nice. What it do, peeps? Anyone interested in joining my DK league? Nah, Thomas, nah. Robert, play Draymond Green. For sure, play him. PJ's multiplier, a good bit better than the claw on Super Draft. For sure. What do we got? The man is live. What's up? What's going on, Kyle? How you doing? Sal, what's popping? What's going on, man? Brand new whip. Just hopped in. Yeah. Brand new week. Just hopped in. What's up? Just signed up for Patreon today. Let's get that cash, says Jonathan. Let's get it. I cannot wait to play over there. They added some new stuff on Patreon, on the browser version at least. Some super cash stuff, things like that. It looks pretty good. It looks a lot more promising than that shit that we get from crowns on some of these other sites. It's basketball season, baby. Let's go. It definitely is. No work till January 2nd. Props to you. Brand new whip just happened. Hey. Sal, got your wig busted. Looking spiffy. Got your wig busted. I don't know what that means, but yeah, we just got the cut. Yo, Sal, safe travel. Thank you. Happy holidays, Sal. Let's get some dollar rooskies. Let's do it. I see everybody seeing that I just went live. Thanks for going live for us. Yeah, James Wiseman, yay or nay? The man has one of the highest variants today because he could go out there, like I'm projecting, play around 20 minutes. Not be great for the price point. But with Steph Curry, this guy could be a nut. James Wiseman could be a motherfucking nut out there. And when I say nut, Dallin's donating $2. Get to that question in a second. When I say nut, James Wiseman might be able to go out there, and even if he plays 22 minutes, average, I mean, we're not expecting a crazy fantasy point per minute production, but he could average 1.3. He can average something crazy, and he could put up 25, 30 points in that 20 minutes, right? I mean, that's what we're expecting out of a big man that has some versatility, insanely athletic. So I think James Wiseman is like an ultimate GPP play. I'm not getting a lot right now. I'm probably not going to get there in single entry 3 max. It's just a guy that I don't see them really stretching too much. Like, I'm not shocked if Wiseman plays 5-minute bursts tonight, 4-minute bursts, sees 18 minutes, right? He has not really been ramped up all that much to take on anything. Like, the ceiling that you're getting out of him is on a efficiency standpoint from a point per minute, right? In his shorter sample. You're not going to see 30 minutes out of Wiseman tonight, right? You're probably not going to see 26 or 24 would even be like the ceiling on what I think he could play. What contest do you recommend playing tonight? I'm going to be playing in all the small field. I have some 150s scoped out. Not playing the Millie Maker. That's probably one I would recommend against. But I will be playing in a lot of small field events. So stuff that you see less than 1,000 people, ideally less than 500 or 300 people. I'll be in all those for sure. Sal, you wearing lipstick? Lose a bet? There ain't no lipstick on me. What you talking about, boy? Hop off. First time playing NBA on DraftKings. What's up, James? How you doing? Let's start off with some dollar rooskies for sure. Chris is the play off the bench. I think Chris is a very good fantasy play. I think that the Warriors, just based on what they've been saying and the things they've done with their wallets, want to see a little bit more out of Chris this year. But I also think that they're going to be splitting 3 centers. I don't see Chris playing too much of the 4. It wouldn't really make too much sense for me, especially with Wiggins probably going to move down there a little bit. Oubre played a lot of the 4 last year when he was at Phoenix, and he played it well. And obviously they have some other depth pieces as well there. Pascal's going to start at the 4, probably play 28 minutes or so, could touch 30. So it's really tough to see Chris get, especially since he's not starting, any huge usage. Like with Looney back there, and they paid Looney. Looney's going to get minutes. Even if Looney only sees 10 minutes, it's going to be tough for Chris to top like 16 minutes. Again, going to be a need to guy, going to need to be a guy who averages crazy amount of points in a short amount of time, which probably is going to be somebody on a 2-game slate. Let's be honest here. We can identify values and all that on a 2-game slate. It's going to be luck. It's going to be random. That's why the 2-game slates suck. I don't want to dampen anybody's parade because the NBA is back and that's fantastic, but I wish this was like a 7 or 8 game slate. I cannot unload a clip on a slate where you're going to get lucky. And yes, you have to get lucky to win anyways, but like to get in even in that top 1 or top 10%, you're going to need to get lucky, not so much skilled, right? Your ability to guess that, Marquise Chris scored 17 and he was the guy that was in the winning lineup tonight. Like 17 sucks. Right now I'd be like, I don't want that, right? But it's going to be something like that. It's going to be how much can you get it? It's not going to be finding the guy, although there could be somebody that at 4K goes for 30 points. I doubt that happens tonight on this slate, especially with all these shitty wing guards that won't get minutes. It's going to be finding the guy who gets you 16 at a cheap price point and allows you to get up to that extra lineup that's got like LeBron and AD in it, and then that gives you a higher ceiling. Very similar to our NFL people out there who are probably a lot of people coming over from NFL. A couple people have already said it. Very similar to like punting the tight end. You don't give a shit if they suck. It's allowing you to get up to the other studs, right? So that's what you're going to get tonight, and there's just so many guys you can punt with. There's so many guys right now that I can tell you that they grade out. If I look at value rankings right now on my projections over here, so many guys that are going to grade out for like a 4 to a 4.5x value, or like a 4 to a 4.7. So many, like 15. And any of those guys could be the guy that ends up in the winning lineup. I think there's some based on positionality, not shooting guards, closer to the rim, higher assist percentage or expected assist percentage. I think there's some that look like better options, but That being said, there's still a lot. There's still a lot that are going to see mid-teens in minutes. I'm very sad to see that Luke Kennard is picking up a ton of ownership for whatever fucking reason, because I actually thought Luke Kennard was a very nice option tonight. The minutes that I was giving him, 24, no Marcus Morris. Nicholas Batum stinks. They just signed Luke Kennard to a pretty big contract. They took on Batum, but a lot of that is Charlotte stretching some of Batum's contract, so it's not as much of a priority for the Clippers to play Batum, and he stinks. Yeah, I mean, Luke Kennard's picking up ownership. I didn't think I would see that. Which is sad. Sal's been putting in crazy overtime lately. Appreciate the effort, Sal, and all the good content. Keep doing you. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. This is my 7th piece of content since yesterday morning. That might sound maybe fun to you. That might not sound like a big deal. But when you have 3 bright-ass lights on you, and it takes an hour to edit these videos each, it takes an hour to 2 hours to prep each video. Each video takes about 4 hours of work from start to finish, sometimes more, sometimes less, but right around there. And this is number 7 since yesterday. So yeah, we're putting in like some 15-hour days just for this holiday week. We're trying to get through it. I like Chris over Wiseman. Yeah, I mean, I'm not starting Chris if he's coming off the bench. I really don't want to start Wiseman either, but Wiseman would be the play if I'm picking one. I have Chris right now. I see where the upside comes from him. He's a good fantasy point per minute producer. Last year, over 1.1 fantasy points per minute. I have him for a good amount of points, right? 17.7 for 4K flat. It's not terrible, especially if you can get a couple extra minutes in there. DeAndre Jordan, yeah, DeAndre Jordan is a really good friend of Kyrie and a really, really, really good friend. The only reason he's probably still on this team with Kevin Durant. So they're going to make him start. And that's sad for Jared Allen, who is the better player at this point. DeAndre Jordan is going to pick you up some easy rebounds. He is not going to leave the paint at all. Maybe get you a couple dunks, maybe a block here or there, right? Jordan looks decent. Jordan right now overall is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, my 12th overall play on this type of a slate. Yeah, Jordan looks good. I expect DeAndre Jordan to start a lot this year just because he's friends with Kevin Durant. And that might sound like I'm just saying shit. That's what happens in the NBA. The NBA is not like the NFL. The players run the league in the NBA. Not literally, but I mean, very close to literally. They name their price. They go to the teams they want. It's not like the NFL where you have no bargaining power at all as an individual player. The NBA, you got it all, baby. There's only 5 starters, and they value your ability to defend the wing and shoot threes. Oh, you're going to get paid $20 million, right? You can play with your friends. All that. Markieff Morris. Oh, Markieff Morris, you just signed with the Lakers. Your brother Marcus, yeah, he's going to get a huge extension, 4 years, $64 million, because he wants to stay in LA instead of going to Denver and actually having a better role. Chris or Wiseman. I would lean to go to Wiseman right now. They're both looking like pretty similar plays to me. It's tough to really project Chris or Wiseman without really seeing him much, but even if you give him like a neutral rookie's projection, he just looks very similar to Chris. So the upside is obviously that he's better than that. Sorry, I'm late. What did I miss? You missed it all. Brooklyn and Golden State will be the best game of tonight. I mean, yeah, the Vegas total says that. The pace says that. KD versus the Warriors. He's going to try and take up a lot of usage. Interesting to see Steph come back. I'm really interested to see Steph play with this team. I think this team is appealing. I wish Draymond was out there tonight, right? Draymond guarding Kevin Durant. Can you imagine the drama there? But yeah, I wish Draymond was out there because I think that game is going to be pretty fun. I'm high on Kelly Oubre, his talent. I think he's an ascending talent and continues to do that. I think he's only 25, and now he's on this team. Andrew Wiggins continues to be soured on, but when he's in a proper role on a team for what he needs to do, he's been pretty decent, and I think Steph allows him to have that role. Andrew Wiggins at 7K is definitely expensive tonight, like pretty damn expensive, but I think there's some upside with him playing with Steph on a 2-game slate. Don't really want to pay 7K. He is my, what is he right now? My 14th overall play tonight, but I do think there's a little bit of a ceiling there, especially if Brooklyn's going to continue to try and play up in pace. And this Brooklyn team, they ain't going to play no defense this year, right? Brooklyn might be bottom 10 in defense this year. They ain't got nobody. Like Bruce Brown, who's like the 12th man in this rotation, is going to be a defender for them, right? I don't expect Kevin Durant to be the same type of defender he once was. Nowhere near that. Can't even think of anybody else. Taurean Prince has been mainly an offensive threat. DeAndre Jordan is a flat-footed guy in the paint. That can't count that as a good defender, right? Joe Harris, maybe? That's rough. Fellas, what's good? What's going on? KD on a limit. Is he good for over, under 2.5? Is he officially on a limit? I mean, I'm projecting KD to be on a limit. Has that been reported? I just assume so. I don't know why they would be stretching him any more than he really needs to be playing out there. I'm putting KD at 30 minutes. I think that makes sense. Best Super Draft play tonight? Yeah, so Super Draft. Sign up again down below. Support the channel. Support Super Draft. And just honestly win money. Better ROI chance than DraftKings or FanDuel. You throw your money into the Million Maker. You burn your ticket as always. You throw your money in. You deposit tomorrow. And you say, tonight's I'm going to win $1 million. And you never do. And you lose a couple $100. And then you stop playing DFS for 6 months. And then the NFL starts and you do the same thing for the first 4 weeks. Right. There's a cyclical cycle there for some people. Just practice better contest selection. Find other websites that have that for you. Seems to be Super Draft for a lot of people in the Discord, Patreon. And that's why we're still partnering with them, because it's actually a product that people can win on and enjoy. And there's some pretty damn good contests when they don't fill. But yeah, best super draft play on paper, if we're talking about projections, Paul George, his multiplier is just too good for me. Like Kennard tonight, I liked him before I saw his ownership projection. I have my exposures ran right now. I have Kennard in 33% of my lineups, but Jesus Christ, I'm going to be below the field on Kennard in 33% of my lineups. I didn't see that coming. Kennard's really going to be 35+% owned tonight? Projected ownership? Like, what? God damn. Thought we were going to get some value on Mr. Luke Kennard. I mean, he's cheap. He's dirt cheap, right? And he fits both a shooting guard and a small forward role. So no Marcus Morris. I expect Kennard to hit the 20s, potentially mid-20s a minutes. I have him at 24 right now. Yeah, I mean, I like him. It's just how much are you actually going to get from a wing player who's not ever going to be a high usage player in this team? He needs to rely on 3-pointers, and now he's going to maybe push 50% owned tonight, going to be one of the top 8 to 10 owned players tonight. I mean, at that point, how much does it really pay for you to get him? If he scores 20, he doesn't hurt you, right? Doesn't hurt you if he's scoring 20 tonight. And if he doesn't score 20, if he starts to score like 15 or 16 or 14, and he doesn't get the minutes people expect, including myself, well, then you just killed out half the field on a player that doesn't have all that much upside, in my opinion. So, yeah, on a slate like this, anytime people are going to massively own a piece of value, although I like Kennard, I'm probably going to move away. So I'm below the field right now. I assume I'm just going to come in below the field. What do we got up in here? Swisher Sweets on DK. Add me, folks. Nah, my man Thomas in here just trying to mooch. Gone. Do you have any locks? Nah. Kyrie or PG tonight? Let me see, actually. I got a lot of Kyrie. I like Kyrie tonight. Price point's way too cheap on Kyrie, especially if we're not expecting Durant to be a full go. I have Kyrie versus who you say? PG? I got more Kyrie tonight. Wanamaker as a DraftKings pick? Not for me. Nah. I mean, Wanamaker sucks. Right? I mean, he's a good real-life player, like for a role, but he's going to be a direct backup to Steph Curry. I don't know how else he steps on the court. So he's going to play at most 15 minutes tonight, probably closer to 14 minutes at best. Yeah, I can't go to Wanamaker. What are your Bazemore minutes? Bazemore minutes for me tonight are actually like Bazemore as a role player on this team. He's just never going to be a guy that gets any type of usage is the issue unless guys are out or injured. But Bazemore I have at 20 minutes tonight. I could see, I have him 22. I could see a little bit more than that. My man says, shut up. You sound stupid. You talking gibberish. I don't know who he's talking to. But hop off. Hey, you have Ube projected better than Wiggins, question mark? I don't think so. My projections are so small right now. Let me pull up the projections. All right, there we go. I currently have, let me factor this by team. I currently have Wiggins for 1.4 more points. Any love for Karis LeVert off the bench? No, he's directly a backup at this point. They said that he's going to be a backup point guard. I assume he'll get some small forward minutes and shooting guard minutes at some point. But if he's going to only play like 20 minutes now, this is not Karis LeVert from last year. This is not Karis LeVert without Kevin Durant, without Dinwiddie at times, without Kyrie Irving for a lot of the year. This is not the $8,000 Karis LeVert that we got to play in the bubble and he went off for 50 points here and there. This is Karis LeVert going to play 20 minutes for this team, and you're happy if he ever touches mid-20s tonight in fantasy points. He got $64 million, so everyone locked him in for 30 plus. Who got sick? Didn't Marcus Morris got $64 million, right? Marcus Morris got $64 million, 4 years, $64 million. Kennard as well got an insane contract. 30 plus is not the case. Batum, I would assume, plays closer to 30, judging by the preseason. Pascal, a good play considering his ownership. I mean, yeah, this is you just got to do this, right? He's going to be 80% owned. He's going to play 28 or 30 minutes. He's dirt cheap. He's shown that he's pretty good on offense. He's shown that he's better on offense than people expected and worse on defense than people expected last year. So I think only Steph will help that, really, from an assist standpoint. So, yeah, I mean, Pascal's fine. There's nothing else on this slate. This slate lacks value at any range, right? Like outside of Kyrie and like LeBron and AD up top and Steph, like there's not any value. And yes, those guys are literally like the best values on the slate. Like outside of Pascal, Ibaka, you're starting to look at like LeBron and Kyrie and Anthony Davis is like the best values on the slate. But Sal, they're not cheap. No, values point per dollar. Yeah. Just say it, Sal. Batum is the play. No, not for me, man. He's going to stand in the corner and be worse than PJ Tucker in fantasy perspective, because PJ Tucker in real life is a very good asset. Who's your Nick Boyle of the NBA? We'll find out as the season goes on, man. It's just night number one. We'll find out. All right, my man can't even speak in English right now. You got to wipe them chests. them chips right here. You gotta wipe them off your chest, my man, as you sit there at home with the the South Park GIF. My man, nasty. How many minutes do you think James Wiseman gets? 20 to 22. Wouldn't be shocked to see 24, but anything more than that, I would be pretty surprised. I think he's going to be pretty limited. Pretty limited based on everything we've seen is all limits or not playing at all, right? That's how basically he's been at this point. Lou Will thoughts? Yeah, I mean, Lou Will back up. He's going to be staggered with Kawhi and PG. We still assume so. And he'll get what he got last year. When those guys were both on the court, he was seeing about a fantasy point per minute. Now he's another year older. And I don't think he plays 30 minutes. So I think Lou Will's in that mid-20s in fantasy points. I think that he definitely has a pretty high ceiling, which makes him a little bit more appealing from a GPP standpoint on a 2-game slate. Sal, too risky to get both Pascal and Chris in a single entry? No, I mean, Pascal, he's so cheap, and he's going to get enough minutes and grade out well. He only got like 6x value or very close to it for me tonight, 5.96, 22.65 fantasy points for Pascal tonight for me. He's going to look pretty damn good. Terrence Mann? No, I mean, Terrence Mann has like legal issues, so I don't even know if he's with the team right now, but he ain't touching the court tonight, my man. Any Joe Harris love? Yeah, he looks like a pretty good value. Aaron Rodgers at point guard, and is there an NBA Closing Thoughts podcast? No, there's no NBA. I mean, no NBA Closing Thoughts podcast. No shot. That's what this is right here, the live stream. I mean, there's no shot I could do 5 days a week of an extra 2 hours of Closing Thoughts podcast. No shot. Pascal free space tonight, yes. How much exposure do you have to Kennard? 33%, and I thought I was going to like that. Holy fuck, though. This guy is just so highly owned. What is your minutes projections on Dennis Schroeder? Yeah, I mean, Dennis Schroeder is going to play like the exact same role that he did for the OKC to start the year. Right? OKC played 3 guard lineups at times with SGA, Paul George, and Schroeder. But he's going to play that guy off the bench, probably pick and roll some with Harrell. I have Schroeder right now for... I have Dennis Schroeder for... This shit's so fucking small, yo. It's pissing me off. Let me pull this up. All right. I have Dennis Schroeder for Mr. Lakers, blah, 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 blah. I have Dennis Schroeder for 30 minutes. I think that's even high. I think 28 makes a little bit more sense. But look, he's going to play the same role. He's going to get the second unit run with Montrezl Harrell, same role that he got on OKC, except now he'll probably overlap some with LeBron and AD and get no usage. So I got a little backlash from Twitter in the comment section, which, like, I don't give a shit. But some backlash that people thought the Lakers got better this offseason. I mean, I think it's very close, but I think they got worse based on the fact that they lost arguably 4 of their best 5 defenders. And how do you win a championship? Defense. Like, Montrezl Harrell is not going to probably step on the court in the postseason. And if he does, it'll be for like 10 minutes, right? That guy cannot play defense. That guy got destroyed by Luka. He got destroyed by Jokic. That's not going to happen in the postseason. Schroeder cannot play defense, right? Wesley Matthews is a fine ad. I mean, it's a net takeaway basically from a Danny Green at that point. But yeah, interesting team. Going to be interesting to watch them. They're going to be better in the regular season from a scoring standpoint, but those guys won't be on the court in the postseason all that much. Dinwiddie thoughts? Yeah, same thing. Dinwiddie is the same thing as LeVert, except a little bit better, but he's just going to be a backup. Maybe he starts, right, some of these games, but he's going to be like a tertiary option on this team. I think Dinwiddie looks better than LeVert, but where their price points are tonight, there's no way I can get there unless something happens to some of these other guys. Like, Dinwiddie and LeVert are some of my worst plays on the slate. I have Dinwiddie as the 26th overall play on the slate tonight. I have LeVert as the 28th overall play. They're priced as if like $6,000 Dinwiddie and $6,500 LeVert are priced as if they're like the number 2A, 2B options on this team. They're like at best 3 and 4. Who's your best value other than Pascal? LeBron James. LeBron James is my best value other than Pascal. Hey, Sal, do you like Harrell tonight? I think he's decent. Yeah, I think Harrell tonight will be decent. He's like a borderline top 15 play for me. He looks good. Yeah, I think he's going to split. I'm directly splitting. It's kind of a cop-out, but 24 minutes apiece with Marc Gasol tonight. Joe Harris, 30 minutes. Yeah, I think that makes sense. How much surge do you got? I have 39% Serge Ibaka. 39%, which is going to probably be well below the field. But I'm fine with that. I mean, Serge Ibaka is center only, so maybe I'll be around the field, maybe a little bit below. But he's center eligible only, so that's a concern. Can't get him at power forward as much. And when he's center eligible only, there's a little bit of other centers on the slate that I want to play, right? You have also Anthony Davis on the slate, which you have to keep in mind. He's power forward center eligible, so that helps a little bit. DeAndre Jordan on the slate, some of these cheaper guys, like a lot of the cheaper value that has upside. If you're not familiar with NBA, the centers are going to have upside. Easier block opportunities, easier rebounds, at least from a value standpoint, and even the studs as well, having bigger ceilings. So, yeah, the value on Serge Ibaka, if you wanted to go all in on him, you could. But he's only center eligible only, so I'm going to be mixing and matching with a couple other guys there. Lou Williams or Joe Harris? I think Lou Williams has a much higher ceiling. Joe Harris can hit that if he hits some threes, but I would be going Lou Williams there. This is a gross slate. Like, I'm putting together single entry and 3 max lineups before the stream. I'm not even sure if I'm going to play those. Like, this is just nasty, the slate. You're forced to play, like, shit players that you have no confidence in. And that's not the best way to go. Best Jock market play? Yeah, I haven't even opened up the Jock market yet for the NBA tonight. So I can't honestly give you that. But it's going to basically be very similar to the DraftKings value. Most of the time, that's how it's worked out for me on NFL. But let me pull it up right now. The Daily Fantasy Stock Exchange. It's Pascal on Jock market. I'm sure he's going to be way too cheap if he isn't. Yeah, he is right there, $3.25. He's already got up to that. He's already 21st overall. Interesting. Serge Ibaka or Lou? I'll go Serge Ibaka. Thoughts on Green? My thoughts on Green. I don't know why I can't think of the Green you're talking about right now. I mean, you can't be talking about Draymond because he's out, right? Why am I blanking on who the hell Green is? Let me type this into this sheet. Green, Jeff Green. Okay, yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah, I think Jeff Green's actually going to get some run. I think that you might see him. He played some small ball 5 in the preseason. But, I mean, him getting some run is like 10 to 12 minutes, so I'm not going to get there. Kawhi or KD for DraftKings? Yeah, KD's going to be insanely low on tonight. Makes sense. He's going to be on a minutes limit, but he's going to be a usage monster. He looked really good in the preseason, like insanely good, both him and Kyrie. So they're going to limit him for obvious reasons, maintenance, get him to the postseason, and then try and win. That's their goal this year. But, yeah, he's way too low owned. I have more Kawhi right now, but in single entry, I'd be interested in pivoting. What's up, Sal? How are you, sir? How you doing? Thoughts on attacking Golden State down low at the center position tonight? Attacking them down low at the center position? I mean, yeah, it's basically like positionless basketball for these teams tonight, so I'm not too interested. Like, I think DeAndre Jordan's fine, if that's what you're saying. Jared Allen could be interesting off the bench. But, yeah, I like DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan, I have a lot of ownership towards tonight. 31%. Wiseman or Ibaka? Ibaka. How many minutes for Horton Tucker? Yeah, I mean, Horton Tucker's, he's just hype, right? He's preseason hype. That's a good prospect that probably gets involved a little bit later on. I don't see all that much interest or all that much usage for him tonight. I didn't even project him in tonight. And if I did, it would be like 4 minutes. So, yeah, not the type of guy you want to be playing. Who's the best center for FanDuel? I don't play FanDuel, my man, so I cannot help you there. Best pay down stud. Best pay stud? LeBron is the best stud in the slate tonight, in my opinion. LeBron's the best stud. We got almost 800 people in here for an NBA stream that we started at fucking 4 p.m. East Coast time on a Tuesday. Like the worst time ever to be on the streaming airwaves. Think we can hit 1,000? Let's see. What up, Sal? DeAndre Jordan or Jared Allen? Whoever starts, and I assume it's going to be Jared Allen if it has not already been announced. I don't think it has been. It would have to be announced after I went live. But I assume DeAndre Jordan starts there. He shouldn't start, but I assume he starts. But we'll see. Whoever starts, though. Kennard or Pascal? Pascal. He's the better value, and they're both picking up ownership. The Brooklyn Green. Yeah, Jeff Green. Yeah, Jeff Green signed in Brooklyn for a reason. Get back up with them OKC dogs. Them OKC dogs on the team that he knows. Kevin Durant being one of them. When will Brooklyn get Harden? This team is like OKC remake minus Westbrook Irving. I mean, Brooklyn is not going to get Harden. That ship has sailed. Maybe it happens, right? Never say never, I guess. But there would be a more likelihood of Ben Simmons trade for the 76ers right now than Brooklyn getting Harden. That's how it appears to me. They are asking way too much for Harden. I mean, they're at, like, I don't know if people pay attention close enough to the NBA. I don't think so, especially with the NFL going on. But Brooklyn literally asked for a first-round pick. They asked for, like, LeVert and Kyrie Irving. What? Like, what? What kind of fucking trade? Like, you think you get to trade James Harden out of a bad situation for you because he doesn't want to be there at all anymore because, I mean, a lot of it's his fault. A lot of it's the team at this point's fault, not putting him around surrounding players that can actually win a championship. But, and then you think you could just build a championship in that trade? That's not how that works. You take on assets. So are you preferring using all of your salary on these wacky slates? On a 2-game slate, yeah, more times than not, when I'm building like my single entry and 3-max, I'll try and leave some salary. But you don't have to leave as much in the NBA. I'll say that. You don't have to leave as much in the NBA. There's a lot of other players that are going to be involved on a nightly basis. Like a specific NFL team only might have 2 wide receivers that you actually like targeting, right? 1 running back, maybe a tight end. That's like 4 players outside of the quarterback that you can actually target and put in your flex and stuff like that. On these types of slates for the NBA, there's so many. Each team has like a viable, on a 2-game slate, maybe not so much, but like 7, 8 guys depending. On a 2-game slate, maybe even a little bit more because like a guy scoring 20 really matters for you. What is your best guy under $4,000 tonight? The best guy under 4K is Eric Paschal. No chance that the Nets trade Kyrie or KD. Yeah, not at all. What about Gasol tonight? I think Gasol's interesting. I think that he'll be really... I actually prefer Gasol if the ownership's going to lean that way between him and Harrell. I think Gasol is a much better player in the playoffs for this team. I think that he's going to be a lot lower owned than Harrell, like half the ownership. So at half the ownership, I'll take Gasol for guys that I think play the similar amount of minutes. Gasol has a much better 3-point game, a much better defensive game to pick up defensive stacks like blocks or steals. He's a much better passer than Harrell. I mean, all Harrell is pretty much is an offensive threat, like down low, right? He can pull up from 3, of course, but Gasol's going to be better from there. So it all comes down to the minutes, though. Like, I think Harrell plays more minutes. I have them both for 24, but if it's like 26, 22, then Harrell's probably going to take that. But if they're both playing 24, half the ownership for Gasol tonight, yeah, that's a guy who can really do some damage. I like that. New subscribers popping up above me. What's going on, Raymond? A bunch of people coming in that probably don't watch a lot of my content because, maybe NFL is not your thing, or maybe there's not a lot of people on the NBA airwaves right now. Hit that like and subscribe. I appreciate that a ton as you come in. Not going to be doing Wally. Bunch of people subscribing. Appreciate all of you. Check out the merch if you want to buy some down below, motherfuckers. What's up? So I'm not going to be doing a video tomorrow. I'm traveling at 7 a.m. It's a 13-game slate. Fuck that. I barely want to do projections for that big of a slate. I'm not going to be playing that slate tomorrow, but I will have projections out on Patreon. Then nothing on Thursday. And then I'm going to plan to try and get up around 5 or 6 a.m. on Christmas and put together a Christmas NBA slate video. I would have already done it and prepped it, but it's the NBA. So people get ruled out the day before and stuff like that. It would make the video pointless. Lou Will or Dennis Schroeder? Fuck. They're like very similar players. They're literally going to have the exact same role like that we've seen for a while because Dennis Schroeder is literally playing with the running mate for Lou Will these past couple of days, or these past couple of years, in Montrezl Harrell. So between Lou Will and Dennis Schroeder, I think Lou Will's the better GPP play because we know the ceiling that guy has. So I'll go with Lou Will. Projected best center, Serge Ibaka. He's just too cheap at $5,200. Fading Irving today? Not at all. I have 50+% Kyrie. He looks great at that price point. Wiseman or Ibaka for cash? I mean, definitely not Wiseman for cash. So Ibaka. Harris minutes projection. So Joe Harris minutes projection for me is... I have Joe Harris looks like a pretty good value tonight. The issue is that he's very shooting reliant. I have him for 30 minutes. I think he makes for a pretty sound play. I have him as a top 5 value. Irving or KD tonight? I have more Irving. KCP for DraftKings? I'm not going to get there, no. I have KCP projecting out for just 17.4 points, and I might even be high on that tonight. I'm not going to get there. KCP has a good DraftKings game for his price point once out of every 14 games, so I'm not playing that. Do you play Yahoo at all? I do not, or just DK. I play Superdraft and DraftKings right now and Jock Market. Dinwiddie, Brooklyn, I don't know what the fuck this means. Dinwiddie, Tin, or Wiggins, Golden State. My man. All right, autocorrect. Okay. Dinwiddie or Wiggins? I'm going to go with Wiggins there. I don't really like either that much, but I've said it a couple times on the show. Wiggins has a very expensive price tag, but the way that he fits with Steph, I'm very intrigued to see, and I think it could really bring a lot of scoring out of Wiggins in terms of just how Steph can set some guys up. Now, in the preseason, Steph was just basically operating as like a catch-and-3 guy. I think it's going to be a little bit different in the regular season. I think he was just getting his legs under him, literally having fun because it's the fucking preseason. I don't think he's just going to be this Bradley Beal back in the day, not driving version of Bradley Beal that we know, but Bradley Beal with John Wall just sitting in the corner and popping threes. No, Steph's going to be this assist guy as well. Any love for Reggie Jackson? Nah, I think his team hates him. I don't think they like him. It's a new coach, so maybe things change, but Reggie Jackson is just brutal, man. He looked like he was actually good because you probably played him when he was on the Pistons, and they didn't have anybody out there except Drummond and him when Blake Griffin's been hurt for every single year for the last 3 years. And some nights he just got a lot of usage, Reggie Jackson, out there, right? He was up there with some pretty nice high usage rates in the 20s and things like that. But I do not expect Reggie Jackson to be doing all that much on this team, especially now that Pat Beverly is healthy. Do not expect him to be getting all that much run. Batum or Kennard? Kennard, because Batum just sucks. DeAndre Jordan or Wiseman? DeAndre Jordan for me. Any love for Reggie Jackson? No. Sal, didn't Harrell finish top 10 in protecting the rim last season per 36? Also, he's a capable switcher. What's the issue with his defense? Montrezl Harrell? I mean, what samples are you looking at? He's a good defender is what we're trying to post here. No, man. Montrezl Harrell is brutal on defense. That man's plus-minus would be as negative to the basement into the underworld as possible. And it was when he faced Jokic. It was when he faced anybody from the Mavs. Luka just, made that man terrible. Obviously, in the postseason, he put on some weight. He was out of shape. He had to leave the bubble. He had COVID. He lost a loved one due to COVID. But, yeah, I think he can improve. Like, LeBron can bring the best out of players. The LeBron effect, all that type of stuff, I think he can improve. But at this point in his career, Montrezl Harrell is an offensive player. Nowhere near a defensive player, nowhere near anything that is going to be that appealing. And also, being top 10 in terms of rim protection, I don't know if that stat's right. I'll assume that he is. I don't know if you've looked that up. But that really doesn't mean much to me because a plotting center that is just in, the paint, those don't exist that much anymore in the NBA. So, being top 10 can't be that hard. How much was the volume on that? Per 36, right? Because most decent centers are leaving the paint a lot of the time. They're actually not going to be getting too much. What's up, Mr. Vetri? Mr. Vetri, hey, what am I? Your teacher? What's up? Your comment just went away. What happened? What happened? We got a lot of motherfucking people in here. What do we got? Let's see. Damn, we got over 800 people. What's up? NBA player props on your channel in the future? Nah, there's just not enough time for it. Nobody really cares about those either, to be honest with you, from a compared to DFS standpoint. There's just not time for it for me. Sorry, you're doing Jock Market for the NBA. Signed up with your code last week. I'm personally playing Jock Market for the NBA, yeah, but I literally just opened the market for tonight just now. Top owned center under $5,500. My exposure for top owned center under $5,500 would be Serge Ibaka. Super Draft Gang, hey. We disagree on Wanamaker. Him and Steph played well next to each other during a couple preseason games. Sometimes when he comes in, he gets Wiggins and Curry slides to the 2. Yeah, we'll see if that continues. I trust those starters in the preseason. I don't really trust the rotations because the rotations are a time to kind of see what you have in players, right? Like if you want to look at like past couple of years preseason, like MVPs, I mean, a lot of the times those are guys that don't really step on the court. So I trust the starting lineups, so you get some looks out of that. But overall, like rotations and guys playing together, I don't trust that as much in the preseason. And like also, we kind of know what Wanamaker is. It's a different team, so maybe it could help out a little bit more, but don't really see the upside on Wanamaker. Is Irving a good play tonight? I think so. Hey, Sal, how does Super Draft work? It is a multiplier format. So, for example, tonight, I could put up some of these other stuff right here. So let's put up this actually for now. So it is a multiplier format for example, tonight, the multiplier right now on Paul George is actually going to look really good. So Paul George, his multiplier is, pull this up right now, sort by Super Draft. So his multiplier is 1.45x. So you take his fantasy points scored and multiply it by 1.45x, and then you get your Super Draft points. So for him tonight, he's my highest projected guy by over 2 points over a couple other guards tonight. So it's a multiplier format. You can pick whoever you want. There's no salary caps. So it's pretty cool. You should check it out. You should use the code SAL to get your $1 bonus up to $1,000. How many minutes do you have James Wiseman for tonight? I have him for 22. I can see 20 to 22. I might have him for 20, one of those numbers. Do you like Paul George tonight? I like him way more in Super Draft. But yeah, Paul George is fine. I'm going to be getting, let me see relative to the field where I'll be coming in on Paul George. Right around the field, like almost identical to the field, right around like 35%, 40%. What do we got? Hey, Sal, how does Super Draft? Wait, okay, answer that one. Lou Will thoughts? Yeah, upside. Not going to see great point per minute production when both Kawhi and Paul George are out there, like we expect tonight, unless some news breaks. So he's going to be like a point per minute guy for the most part tonight. Obviously, that goes up and down depending on who's on the court. But it'll depend on minutes. If Lou Will gets 30 to 32, it'll look like a good play. I think he's going to see closer to 26 to 27. So on a 2-game slate, he's definitely in play. He's definitely a solid play, Lou Williams, especially since the ownership won't spike because he's not going to grade out as a good value. All the good values are going to be known, right? Eric Pascal, Steph, Serge Ibaka, Kyrie, Luke Kennard, Paul George, Steph Curry. If you think that you like those guys, you'll be damn sure that more than close to 50% of the field is going to like all those guys. It all comes down to honestly getting lucky on a 2-game slate between your Lou Will type plays. If you want to pivot to Kevin Durant, right? Your Kelly Oubre type plays. Guys who will see some usage and shot attempts tonight and be out there for decent minutes. Like Kelly Oubre might only play 32 minutes tonight, but this is a guy who's playing 35 minutes night in and night out last year. Might not be the exact fit that the Warriors want to do with him on this team, but I can see him getting that big run. If he gets it, he's going to pay off this price tag more times than not. Dinwiddie or Schroeder tonight? I'll go with Schroeder. Hey, Sal, do you think Jared Allen can be a sneaky center play? Thanks, bud. If he's coming off the bench, I'm probably not going to get there. But I do think, if DeAndre Jordan starts, I think he sees like 26 minutes. Who gets more minutes, Wiseman or Chris? I think it's pretty close, but Wiseman, as long as he's starting, which is the case. What do you think about Gasol tonight? I think for half the ownership of Harrell, that Gasol is actually a pretty solid play. Now, I'm not shocked to see Harrell play 28 and Gasol play 20, and then Gasol is a terrible play, but there is a world where they both see 24 minutes. And if that's the case, Gasol at half the ownership looks just as similar to me, or very similar as Harrell. How much does Patreon cover Super Draft? Patreon just has Super Draft projections. That's all you need for Super Draft, right? All you need is the projections. And then from there, you just apply randomness if you're using an optimizer. LeBron load management concern for the season, yeah. Not for tonight. I gave LeBron 33 minutes tonight. Like load management for LeBron would be playing 32 minutes instead of his normal 35, 36 that he was playing last year in the regular season and bubble. But LeBron's going to take some active rest for sure, right? Active rest meaning he'll only play 30 minutes in a game. So if they get up tonight by 15 in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left, I still don't think he comes out. 2 minutes left, sure, he'll come out. He'll play 30 instead of 32, right? But LeBron's rest, I think, is going to come more so from just sitting. A lot of back-to-backs this year because of the shortened schedule, 72 games. I think LeBron sits maybe 15 games this year. Ibaka the center? Yeah, Ibaka looks good at center. Gasol's a value, but inconsistent. Yeah, I mean, he's inconsistent when he plays 20 minutes a night. When he was playing 30 minutes a night last year, when he had that time playing 30 minutes with the Raptors, he was actually pretty decent. But a lot of people remember him from the bubble where he was playing like 24, 20 minutes a night. And yeah, he's inconsistent when you're going to play that low of minutes. Do you think George's ownership will be a touch low because everyone remembers how terrible he played in the playoffs? Not really. I honestly don't think there's going to be that many people that fully remember that, to be honest with you. They were not playing in the finals or even the conference finals. Like, right? I don't think that many people are going to remember that all too much, to be completely honest with you. You have a video for beginners on NBA DFS? I've been playing NFL. I do not. I might have made one like 2 years ago. I'm sure most of it's relevant. I have a cheat sheet down below. You can download totally free. I wrote about 2 years ago. Most of it is relevant. I touch on there about how I play a lot of cash, though. I was playing that 2 years ago. I don't play cash anymore. You have recently received an airline credit for a canceled flight that you booked through us. It has come to our attention that you may be eligible for a refund from the airline in place of your airline credit for the following flight. I hope this is not my flight for tomorrow morning. Jesus Christ. That'd be terrible. I'm going to have to check that out. I think it might be a pass flight. Damn. All right. Thoughts on Paul George? Looks decent. No real strong stance on Paul George. He's going to come in as one of the probably borderline top 5 most owned guys tonight. And he's decently priced. I don't think he's the best stud on the slate. He's not priced as a full-on stud at 7,800, but I'd rather Kyrie for a little bit more money. And then obviously once just to get to the Steph in LeBron range is a little bit too expensive. Joe Harris or Wiseman? I'll go Harris. Damian Lee, Sal, I don't think you're going to see the minutes. Damian Lee was arguably the best player on this team last year, right? Just because, like, from start to finish. But I don't think you're going to see it. Great hoodie, Sal. Love the new designs. Thanks, you. Stinks, my man. I'm literally stumbling over my speech today because my brain is fried. This is the 5th time today, including the Osmo show, that for an hour I've gone behind 3 fucking bright lights and just talked to a webcam. But yes, get the motherfucking merch down below. What are you doing if you're not getting the merch? What are you doing if you're not getting the merch? Is today NBA season? Yep, it starts tonight. 2-game slate. Any Pat Bev love? Yeah, decent. You know what you're going to get. He's going to be out there to play some defense. Probably 26 to 28 minutes of Pat Bev. $4,400. He'll be owned on a 2-game slate. Might be 35% owned tonight. Yeah. How much Pascal are you getting? A lot. I'm getting Pascal in 89% of my lineups, which I assume will be above the field, but he's going to be like 80% owned on a 2-game slate. You fly a lot, Sal. No, not really, man. I'm going to be flying a lot more in 2021, I can tell you that much. A lot more. Once the NFL season is wrapped up, which is basically in 2 weeks, a lot more travel for your boy. Going to try to experience some stuff, because life's too short not to move around. And also, when you travel, even if you're just traveling like an hour away, the insane amount of power that has on your mind in terms of just whether it's natural stress relief or opening you up to new ideas is crazy. So want as much of that as possible. I'm going to travel so much that 2021 we're going to be retiring from the fantasy streets and we're going to be in whatever the hell else. I don't know if that's actually true. Probably not. But if it happens, hey, we'll be loving it. Batum, question mark? Not for me. Minutes projections on Mr. Alex Caruso tonight. Oh, they low. I think they're 12. I think I gave Caruso 12 minutes. I have him for 8.5 fantasy points. Dennis Schroeder being there ruins Caruso. He was playing backup point guard last year to get like the mid-teens a minute. Sometimes he played 20 minutes. I have 12 minutes for Alex Caruso, and that might even be high tonight. Is LeBron fine on Superdraft? All caps for Mr. Matt Anderson. Wants to know if LeBron James is fine on Superdraft tonight. I think he's okay on Superdraft. He's fine, yeah. Not my top priority, but he's fine. AD and Irving or AD and LeBron? AD and LeBron. What's up, Sal? Somebody says happy birthday. Not yet, but about 6 months or so we'll be close. He said happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too, man. Ibaka 25 plus fantasy points. I have Ibaka for, I believe that much, yeah. I have Ibaka for right around there, yep. I have him above that. Barely, though. Like, if you're trying to bet an over-under on Monkey Knife Fight or something, I would not be taking the over. I would not touch that side of the bet because it's literally too close for me to want to make any type of a wager on it. Steph has hit 29 points on preseason. Do you think he'll hit 26 tonight? maybe. Yalf! Hey, yeah, we got some Yalf stuff as well in the merch store. THT, what about him? I think he probably plays like 4 minutes tonight. Like these guys that are getting hyped up in the preseason or offseason, like THT, yeah, probably a great talent. Where is he stepping on the court in this team, right? I'd be more surprised if he played. I would expect THT to play 0 minutes before he played 10 minutes tonight, unless there's, of course, a blowout or somebody gets hurt. But in a straight-out close game, I would not really be projecting THT to step on the court all that much. Hey, Sal, just getting in. What's up, man? What do you think about Marquez Chris tonight? Do you think they'll give him 20 minutes? Since James Wiseman is starting, I don't think Chris will see 20 minutes tonight. He could play some backup for behind Pascal, if that's what the starters are going to be. So I think Chris is a pretty good fantasy player. I think he'll probably see somewhere closer to 16 minutes, though. What's your favorite dinosaur? I can't even name dinosaurs, my man. I can name a T-Rex, and that's like legit it. Any Zubac for you? I think Zubac's really, really sneaky on this slate. I got 15% Zubac. I assume nobody's really going to want to own Zubac tonight. I think I'll be probably above the field at 15%. He might even be single-digit owned on this type of a slate. Look, yeah, I mean, Serge Ibaka's out there. They got some other guys out there. I do think that Zubac, I mean, he was playing fantastic last year. He's just got this cap because of defensive liabilities to an extent and just the way that he kind of plays his style. You might only see Zubac out there for like, more times than not, like 20 to 22 minutes. And that's the concern. But this man can erupt. I mean, this guy's like a 1.2 fantasy point per minute scorer like half the fucking nights he's out there, even better. Does Simpson for LAL play tonight? No. I got 0 minutes projected for that. My little brother bought me the Fellas hoodie. I'm pumped. Hey, my man Andrew, round of applause. We're going to be matching soon. Yeah, I got a bunch of other hoodies. I sent some to my buddies. My one buddy in California and some other buddies. Sent them some comped hoodies, some comp merch from your boy. How about it? Yeah, I literally couldn't find any clothes I liked, so I made my own. Because the clothes they got out in them stores these days are busty and overpriced. LeVert is running that second unit, better value than Oubre starting? Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I mean, LeVert's going to be like a pure backup. So like LeVert running the second unit for like the 14 minutes that Kyrie's not on the court, or the 13 minutes, like obviously LeVert will play a little bit more than that moving around, but like LeVert's not going to play 30 minutes tonight. I doubt it. LeVert's going to play his normal role like he did to start last year when he was a backup player and get like 20 to 22 minutes. Maybe he gets 24. And the usage will not be there. And the efficiency was insane last year on that usage, which is even more nuts. So this is nowhere near the player you saw in the bubble. I wish it was. But the minutes won't be there. The efficiency won't be there. The volume won't be there. And he's priced as if it's almost going to be there. Like last year, LeVert was like 7K in some of those bubble games when he was like the main guy going off. Now he's 6,500 and he's not going to be anywhere near that. Management for KD? Yeah, I have him at 30 minutes. I think that they're going to manage his minutes. Steph, 30 plus. He hungry. All right. Sounds good. Horton Tucker, I don't really think he steps on the court much, no. Ibaka's going to eat. Don't pass on him tonight. I agree. Do you still have a Monkey Knife Fight promo? Yeah, I do. It's my last name, my man. So, yeah, if you want to play any props on Monkey Knife Fight, they're definitely, I could probably sponsor them in some of these videos. But VETRI, you get a free money bonus up to $50. So if you put in 20, they'll give you 20 right back. VETRI. What do you think about fading Kyrie and Curry to go to super contrarian? I think it's okay. Like, I kind of am fading Curry tonight. I don't want to. Like, in single entry, I might play him, but it's just the way that my lineups are going. I'm getting more Kyrie. I'm getting more LeBron. So, like, who are you going to then? You're probably going to, like, more of the bigs, right? AD, LeBron, KD, Kawhi. Kawhi's an interesting play tonight. KD's very interesting. The minutes load is going to be down, but, like, if KD sees, like, a 35% usage rate tonight, that guy can eat. And don't doubt that he won't. Former team. What location are you most looking forward to traveling to? I bought a book of destinations to travel to. There's like places I want to see. I want to see Denver a lot. I haven't been to Denver. Like if we're talking about in the country, right? Because there's so many places that I still can't fucking travel to outside of the country at this point for obvious reasons. But like within the country, I want to see Portland. I want to see Denver. Yeah, those would probably be the places I would start. But just in general, just traveling around, seeing stuff. I want to do a lot of hikes this year. My one buddy, I'm going to try and set something up when I'm home this weekend. My buddy from high school. And just start going places and just hiking peaks. Retreat style. Just whiskey at night, relaxing by some fire, away from the technology, and then, bang, hiking on the mornings. Sounds fun. Do you like Pascal over Chris M. Wiseman for DraftKings? Yes, I do. He's my highest home player. Jeff Green, minutes projection, he or DeAndre Jordan? DeAndre Jordan for sure. Jeff Green, I think, is a very talented player. He fits his roles well. Obviously an older player, so like talent, how much is still left in the bone, I'm not sure, but I think he fits his role as well is a better way to say that. I have Green projected for 10 minutes tonight. DeAndre Jordan is definitely the play there for me. Prince is a solid value tonight. Seems like a solid 3-point shooter off the bench that can get hot. Yeah, I mean, he's a nice stretch option. Never really played much defense in his life. Never was really asked to when he was with Atlanta. That's the issue, though, right? He's playing off the bench now. He is the Kevin Durant backup in some situations, depending on who else is out there. So that's your issue. You're going to get like 16 minutes out of Prince. I think he's one of those guys tonight. Like, I'm not shocked if Prince puts up more points than Kennard, and Kennard's going to be way, way, way more higher owned. So, like, in the context of the slate, if you want to compare, hey, Sal, you want to play Prince or Kennard tonight? Like Luke Kennard tonight, if he's really going to be coming in with this 30+% ownership and Prince is going to be at like 5% owned, yeah, like I have more minutes for Kennard. I have him for 20 plus. I have Prince for like 16, so that's the reason why he's that much higher owned. But it's the first game of the year, right? Luke Kennard can go out there and play 20 minutes, and Prince can play 18, and Prince can outscore him because he plays closer to the basket and doesn't rely on shooting as much. So, yeah, I mean, I think Prince is a fine play. Like, I just really have no interest in. I thought I was going to have a lot of interest in playing Kennard. It's dropped a lot. I'm not going to have 0%, but I'm going to be below the field just because the field is so high on Kennard now. I did not think that was going to happen. What do we got here? We're almost live for an hour, gang. I'm going to bounce it around 5. What do we got? We're at 1,000 people. So like and subscribe right now. I appreciate that. Did this stream just to get it in. We'll have content throughout the week. Nothing tomorrow for the NBA, video-wise. Too big of a slate for me to cover if I get up at 5 in an hour before my flight leaves. So I won't be able to cover it in time. Will be projections and stuff like that on Patreon. No basketball on Thursday. There'll be some football content to close out the week. It's all prepped up. Basketball on Christmas Day will be covered as well. So 5 more minutes left. Be sure to get your questions in. Be sure to hit the subscribe, like all that stuff. You can check out Patreon down below. We're around 300 subscribers away from 35,000. Our goal by the end of the year. We got about 10 days left, 9 days left to do so. So please sure to hit the like and subscribe to help a brother out. See some people subscribing up above my head. What's up? Hot take, KD gets ejected in the first half. Oh boy. Ibaka or Chris or Pascal? I like Pascal over all those guys and Ibaka. Simon, man, what do you think of Jeff Green and Wiseman or Chris and Harris? I like Joe Harris over all those guys, then Chris. I like Joe Harris. Chris and Wiseman are like 2A, 2B for my options. I already take Wiseman for more minute security, and then Green last. Schroeder or Dinwiddie? Schroeder. Thoughts on KCP? Yeah, I think KCP plays like, his normal 25-minute role or whatever that might be. If he gets hot shooting, that's fine, but that happens like 3 times a year, so I'm not going to be going to KCP. I have him projected for 17 points, not enough. Any wing players you're going to restrict today? Yeah, in 150s, yeah, definitely. Like each of these teams' wing players, right? I don't want more than, on a 2-game slate, I can go more than 2 of. So like out of the wing players from the Lakers, there's not that many to choose from, but like a Wesley Matthews, and honestly, like you could do, I don't want more than one of these guys, Wesley Matthews and KCP, or you can add in a third wing there out of whoever you want to. If you wanted to add in Dennis Schroeder, you could say, I don't want more than 2 of Dennis Schroeder, KCP, and Wesley Matthews, right? Those types of things. From the Clippers, I don't want more than 2 of Patrick Beverley, Luke Kennard, Batum, and Reggie Jackson. I don't want to be getting more than 2 of those in my lineups because odds of 3 of them actually being in a winning lineup are very rare. I mean, let alone 2. Irving or Curry? I think I have more Kyrie tonight. Who do you got if not Kyrie at point guard? LeBron fits the point guard spot, so a lot of LeBron, good amount of Kyrie. And some Laker or some Clippers guys to close it out. Lou Will, Pat Bev will fit into those spots, I believe, as well. Shooter, a little bit of ownership towards 1% Bruce Brown. I don't even know if he steps on the court tonight. How are ownership projections projected in general? That's a very loaded question, my man. Analytics, historical data, sentiment, and a lot of analytics, a lot of data. A lot of data to fuel those things, a whole lot of data. Sal, best rated point guard not named Curry and Irving. LeBron. Sal, LeBron's not a point guard. He fits into my point guard spot. What are you talking about? What you talking about? LeBron fits into my point guard spot. What you talking about? LeBron. KD and Wiseman or AD and Gasol? AD and Gasol for me, my man. That's actually a pretty good question. I have a question. In basketball in general, in your opinion, which international team is better? Spain or I don't even know a single player in any of those. I didn't even know they had basketball teams. Who's the Aaron Rodgers and Nick Boyle of basketball? We'll find out pretty shortly, won't we? We'll find out closer as the year goes on. We'll find out. I hit that like button. Who are the top plays? Thanks for hitting it. Yeah, Eric Pascal, Serge Ibaka will be the high-owned plays that everybody's going to know about. This is the thing with NBA DFS. You don't win by playing Pascal tonight. You don't win by playing Serge Ibaka tonight or LeBron James. You win by probably getting lucky, but you win by playing that guy that not a lot of people are going to go to. You win by fading Luke Kennard, right? And even if Luke Kennard goes off tonight and he's in the winning lineup, you realize that you're winning long-term by fading Luke Kennard. When Luke Kennard's going to be 40% owned. And he looks like 10 other guys on the slate tonight who are 15% or lower owned. Are spread bets essentially just 50-50 guesses? Yeah, I mean, for the most part, that's what it is. If you're betting right now a spread, right? If you can get them at their opening lines, they're a little bit better than that if you have an edge, right? If you're getting your NFL opening lines on a Monday morning, the goal is that you understand what's happening and you can beat the closing line. If you're getting them on Sunday morning, you're never going to win long term in sports betting. Wanamaker or Prince? Prince. Thoughts on Bazemore? No interest. 20 minutes, don't like it. You like Montrezl Harrell today? I do, but Gasol's like half the ownership for a similar role probably. Any picks for Jock Market? I got no picks for you, my man. I'm keeping those close to the vest. I haven't even looked. I just opened the Jock Market as we were talking about this, but we're keeping them close to the vest. Jock Market I'm opening up right now. How many people are in the Jock Market? 32 are in the Jock Market, the paid market. Closes by 7. All right, I got time. I don't got to look at this yet. I like Wiseman for Jock Market. Anybody else? Why are you big on Pascal and not Kennard when his ownership is higher on DK? Because Pascal is playing closer to the basket, because Pascal is a proven player on this team that we've seen him play and has the ability to play 28 to 30 minutes when, I mean, first of all, minutes are the main reason, right? Where his position is. Luke Kennard is going to rely on three-point shooting. Pascal will get rebounds, will get assists, will be shooting closer to the basket, will have block opportunity, and Pascal is going to project out for, on average, 5 more minutes. Warriors said Wiseman is starting. Correct. Sal, why don't I see Aaron Rodgers? I thought we could play him as a subscriber. You can on the NFL slates. Correct. Schroeder or Harrell tonight? I'll go Harrell. Enjoy your night, Sal. Good luck, Brody. Good luck to you as well. Hope you and your family and everybody in the chat has a good Christmas. Yes, everybody have a fantastic Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a very happy holidays. I'm going to be excited to play the 2-game slate. I'm going to go hang out with my girlfriend tonight before I leave tomorrow for the holidays to spend it with the family. So yeah, best of luck, everybody, tonight. I appreciate you all. If you want to get in on the Patreon projections, rankings, all that type of stuff, value, super draft projections, check them out down below on my Patreon. Check out Super Draft if you're not already. You're leaving money on the table because it's about to get dumb saturated when we send a bunch of people over there during the NBA season. Dumb saturated. Sal, why ain't you got no brothers on the wall? Ain't got no brothers on the wall. What the fuck does that mean? Do you like Spencer Dinwiddie tonight? No, I don't. All right, best of luck, everybody. Peace out. Have a great rest of your night. 4 to 5. We did an hour live on this joint. I appreciate the 1,000 of you that tuned in. You all rock. Have a great rest of your night. Enjoy your holiday season. I will not be live again until probably Monday Night Football, the final Monday Night Football of the week after the holiday season, so I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you so much for tuning into this video, and best of luck tonight. I'll speak to some people in the Discord right after this. See you, gang. Peace out, peace out, peace out. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah.